Namaste yogis and welcome back to my channel. My name is Matt and today we're going to dive into a beautiful Yin Yoga sequence, working a lot on the glutes, the hips and the midsection where we have a lot of tension and a lot of emotions can be stored in that area as well. So if you become emotional today or you feel that release, just let it go. It's totally normal and it's going to do you a lot of good. So thanks for joining me, and for today's practice all you're going to need is 2 blocks. And we're going to start by going into supported fish. So you're going to be turning away from the blocks. And one block will land in about your mid upper back, and the other block will be at the top sideways to support your head. So I'm going to let you just set yourself up here, lowering yourself down, finding that spot, and then bringing the head to rest on the block. And if you want, the sole of your feet can come together like this, and you can let your knees fall to the side, going into a supported fish and butterfly position at once. So you might feel a lot of tension in your upper back. The thoracic spine is usually one area that has a lot of tightness. So just set yourself up, take your time. Just mentally and physically set some time aside for this today and forget about everything else. Forget about work, forget about your phone, forget about anything else that might be worrying you or occupying your mind right now. And as you settle into this, as usual, reconnect with your breath. Big inhales through the nose. Big exhales through the nose. Calming the mind and the body. And as you feel your spine, chest area, upper back opening up, try to see if you can notice a better flow of energy throughout your body. If you can notice that tension is dissipating. And when you're ready, you can close your knees, pushing yourself back up very slowly. From the seated position here with your hands on the floor, you can just do a slight windshield wiper motion left to right, loosening up your low back and the external rotation here of your hips. And from here, I'm going to invite you to move the blocks aside, lowering yourself down onto your backs here. And with your feet firmly planted on the floor, we're just going to lift our hips up, placing a block at the base of our spine here, hands on the floor, and we're just going to lift our legs up for the waterfall position. So this is a great position to just relax and enjoy how this feels this morning or whatever time frame you are in the world right now. And just allow the blood to come back down to the heart and lungs. getting fresh oxygen and just making everything flow better within your body. So you can keep a slight bend in your knees, and let's just enjoy this invigorating Yin Yoga position. So in Yin Yoga, stillness is your friend. We're trying to still the mind, the body, the soul, and enjoying slowing things down in this fast-paced world that can be draining. And we can bring the sole of our feet back to the floor, lifting our hips up and moving the block aside. So from here we're going to be going into Happy Baby. So I'm going to invite you to bring your knees towards your chest, and then your hands can grab the exterior edges of your feet as you pull your feet down. So you might feel some stretch in your low back here if there's a lot of tightness there, in your inner groin as well as your hips. So don't overly force your legs and knees down. Just kind of hold on to your feet here as you gently pull down until you find some resistance. And then just reconnect with your breath and enjoy how it feels. You can wiggle a little bit left to right to massage your low back if you wish. can bring your feet inward here, closing your knees, and then lowering them to the ground here. Again, if you want to do a little bit of windshield wiper motion, it always feels really good to loosen up all tightness that you might not be aware of right away. And then I'm going to invite you to extend your legs in front of you. If you want, you can just extend your arms above your head here, big stretch. Taking a few breaths here. Extending your fingertips as far as you can away from your head. Deep, deep, deep stretch here. Big inhale. Exhale. Bring your arms down and around as you bring your right knee in and hug it towards your chest for half cradle pose. So you can interlace your fingers here on top of the right knee and pull that knee towards your chest, keeping the left leg extended in front of you. And let's just breathe here. And we can release the right leg, extending that leg in front of us. Arms above the head. A big stretch. A few breaths here. And then one big inhale. Exhale, bring your arms around as you bring the left knee in towards the chest and then hug that left knee, pulling it down, feeling that stretch in the left hip flexor. And you might be feeling it in the right one as well if your right leg is fully extended in front of you. And we can release the left leg in front of us. Can wiggle them a little bit. And we're gonna rock ourselves to the seated position here. So bringing the knees in, just rocking. And coming up very gently. And then crossing our legs here, we're gonna place our hands in front of us. And we're just gonna come on our knees. Bringing the knees back here onto all fours. So tucking your toes, we're just gonna go into a smooth downward facing dog here. So pushing yourself up and your hips back, stretching the spine. Nice stretch in the hamstrings here. Taking a few breaths. And then big inhale, we're going to raise the right leg up and back. Exhale, we're going to swing that right leg forward and side. Our hands here, extending the left one behind. And if you want, you can grab the blocks for supports here on both sides. We're going to go into high flying dragon. So pushing your hips forward and down, supporting yourself on the block. Or you can have your hands on the floor as well. Just feel that deep stretch in your left hip flexor as you focus on your breath, focusing on sending that fresh breath of air down to that tight left hip flexor area. And I'm going to invite you to slowly release the stress that we're applying on the left hip flexor by moving your hips back. And then going into a gentle right hamstring stretch here. So you might fold at the waist, rounding the spine, trying to bring your forehead to the right knee. And then we can release, bringing that right leg back, tucking your toes, pushing through your hands, lifting your hips up, downward facing dog.
steady big inhale, lifting the left leg up and back. Exhale, swinging it forward. Inside our hands here, extending the right leg back. And bring the blocks on both sides for support. For again, high flying dragon pose. Working on the tightness of the right hip flexor here. So let's just reconnect with the breath once more. Remembering that this is your time to relax. If you feel some sort of rush to go through this class, just notice that and then toss that aside so you can fully embrace the power of slowing down. This is the battle between the yin and the yang in life. And the yang is the fast-paced, go, go, go type of activities or lifestyle. The yin is the more restful, slow down, quiet activities or lifestyle. And both are constantly battling. Our goal is to strive for a balance of both so that we can feel our best on a day-to-day basis. And we can very slowly start to move our hips back, placing the block aside, and then rounding the spine, going into a left hamstring stretch here as a counter pose to what we just did. And we can release and bring that left leg back in line with the other leg here. So from all four, we're going to go into melting heart here. You want to keep your knees in line with your hips. We're going to do one big inhale. Exhale, we're going to be walking our hands forward, keeping our knees and hips in line, and just curving the spine here, bringing the forehead to rest. You want to be stretching your upper back. Some of you might be able to go down to the chest if you have a lot of flexibility in your thoracic spine area. But for me, the forehead is good enough. So let's reconnect with the breath again. As we relax and enjoy how that feels throughout our whole body. And you can slowly push yourself back up. And that should feel wonderful. So from here, we're going to be working on our glutes, bringing the left knee behind the left wrist, extending the right leg behind. And then with the right hand, you can move that left shin forward towards the front of your mat. So I'm just going to allow you to settle into this, keeping your spine long and tall here for the time being. Just connect with our breath. And when you're ready, you can lower yourself down onto the floor. Bring your elbows out, palms one on top of the other, and you can bring your forehead to rest on the back of your hands. And we can push ourselves up here, releasing the left leg, coming back onto all fours. You can move your hips around here in circles if you want. And now we're going to bring the right knee behind the right wrist, extending the left leg behind. And then with the left hand, we're going to be moving the right shin forward. And again, just lengthening the spine here as you push your hips down and forward. Taking a few breaths just to allow the right glute to open up before we make our way down. And when you feel like tension dissipate, just come down to your forearms and flare out your elbows, and then bring your forehead to rest on the back of your hands. And I'm gonna invite you to push yourselves back up again, releasing that right knee. And then you can move your hips in circles here, just getting the blood to flow properly once more. And you can bring your knees to the edges of your yoga mat, touching your big toes together behind your glutes, and then making contact with your heels. Just gonna take a few breaths here before we go into wide knee child's pose. So one big inhale here. Exhale, placing your hands on the floor and walking them slowly forward. As you keep your glutes in contact with your heels, bending at the waist, going into a beautiful wide knee child's pose. The wider your knees, the more you're going to feel it in your inner groin. Beautiful, friends. So let's get out of this very slowly, closing our knees here. And then we can walk ourselves to the center of our yoga mat, crossing our legs behind our glutes and then rolling onto them as we extend our legs in front of us and make our way down to Savasana. So just bring the back of your hands on the floor. You can spread your legs comfortably wide enough. And then just find stillness throughout your mind and body. Just noticing how good it feels to lie down completely still on the hard floor. No mattress, no pillows, nothing. Resting in the most simplistic way that human beings can. And as you're resting here in Savasana, just pay attention to your body. Notice that openness in areas that were once before the class tight. And if you pay enough attention, you can almost feel some sort of tingling or energy flowing better in those areas. It is quite magical. So I'm gonna let you be with yourself here in silence, and let's just enjoy this together. And you can stay lying down in Savasana for as long as you want, as I make my way up to the seated position to conclude today's class with you guys. So thanks for joining me today. If you aren't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. It's the best way to keep up to date with my new classes. And I want to thank all of you who gives me donations here and there. It's greatly appreciated. I don't always have the means to get back to all of you and say thank you, but no donations goes unnoticed, and I see them all, and I truly appreciate it. It's the only way that I get supported money-wise for being a teacher, since all my content is free on YouTube. So thanks for that. It helps me to create new content and put all the time and efforts behind those classes for you guys. So just lengthen the spine here, get your neck as long as possible, drop your shoulder blades down, hands on your knees. Again, close your eyes, and we're going to take a few deep breaths in and out through the nose. Big inhale, exhale, big inhale, exhale, big inhale, exhale. And that's a wrap for today. Hands at the heart. Namaste. Bye guys. Have a beautiful day.